I personally have nothing more to share because nothing will ever bring back our daughter. This is our life sentence, and nothing can ever change that outcome.
That is heartbreaking, and for years he was respected and well regarded as part of Cuyahoga County's criminal justice system.
But now, disgraced former judge Lance Mason will likely spend the rest of his life in prison. Mason was sentenced today in connection with the brutal stabbing death of his ex-wife in November of 2018. Before learning his fate, Mason offered an apology.
News 5's Jordan Vandenberg joins us live outside the Justice Center with more.
Lance Mason will be eligible for parole after spending 35 years in prison. And while this isn't what Aisha Fraser's family wanted, they tell me they are still content.
All rise for the Honorable John Haas.
The gavel spares no one, no matter if you once sat on the bench, but now find yourself at the defense table.
I'm not making any excuses. I know what I've done is indefensible. I accept full responsibility for it. I'm ashamed. I mean, it's...
Before being sentenced, former Judge Lance Mason offered a stammering and rambling explanation as to why he stabbed his ex-wife, Aisha Fraser, to death in November 2018. The attack happened in front of their two children, who had also witnessed Mason viciously beat her 4 years prior.
She cried uncontrollably, longing for her mother, reliving the horror of what she had witnessed.
Mason's at times incoherent explanation for that day was met with an entire courtroom full of rolling eyes. He pled guilty, he says, to avoid the trauma of his daughters having to testify.
It wasn't, I want to protect my daughters from testifying. I don't want my daughters to testify against me. Still a person who wants to be in control. And as much as he wants to say he loves his daughters, which I'm sure he does, the moment he laid hands on her, he forgot about his daughters. He forgot that he loved his daughters.
Aisha was affable, loving, and a beacon of light, whose life was dedicated to her daughters and the school children that she taught, her family says. Her death was profound, not just for her family, but for the entire Shaker Heights community.
I personally have nothing more to share because nothing will ever bring back our daughter. This is our life sentence, and nothing can ever change that outcome.
This closes the chapter on the book of Lance Mason, and I think what we should do going forward from this point is celebrate the life of Aisha Fraser.
Lance Mason was also sentenced for seriously injuring a Shaker Heights police officer as he tried to flee the scene. That officer is still undergoing rehabilitation. Once Lance Mason completes that first 35 years, he will be in his late 80s. Reporting live downtown, Jordan Vandenberg, News 5.
All right, thank you, Jordan. And we also want to let you know that a bill named Aisha's Law seeks to reform Ohio's domestic violence laws. It would give risk screenings to domestic violence victims, sending certain cases to high-risk teams. Victims could request emergency protection orders at any time, but it may face hurdles to pass. Critics argue the bill violates the Constitution by allowing hearsay evidence in court.